Getting all the announcements out, ladies and gentlemen. Are we live? Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. It's Tuesday, isn't it? 1 second. All right. All right. All right. We are live on the YouTubes. Good, good, good. Make sure we're live on the Twitch. Yes, we are live on the Twitch. We're live on the Twitch. Good. Excellent. We're live on the X. X.com, aka Twitter. Are we live there? Are we live? All right. Make sure we're live there. Oh, Twitter's doing a little buffery thing. It's buffering. Buffering on Twitter. Let's see. Make sure Twitter's good. X.com. Hold on. Let's see here. We good? We live? Let me see that live video. Perfect. All right. A little buffery thing. Yep, we're good. We're good. We're good. All right. Let's see. We live on the TikToks, the Tickety Talks. Check and see if we're live on the Tickety Talks. I think we are. Yes, we are. Good. All right. Let's get our message out on the Facebook, the Facebook. Hold on 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. We are just getting ourselves set up here. A little bit of last minute stuff. All right, perfect. Hold on. All right, we're all set. We're all set here, baby. So how's everybody's day going? Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Hope you guys had a wonderful 2 to 3 day weekend, because for some people it was a 3-day weekend. It was a lovely 3-day weekend for some people. It was President's Day, so they had the 3-day weekend going on. Yeah, I had a good one, man. I was chilling out. Spent some time with the family. You know how it is. Had a nice relaxing day. All right. We're all set to go. All right. What's up, guys? It's Double Nix, and welcome to another episode of Microcap Mornings. I am your host with the most. They call me DBL Nix in the house, aka the Rainmaker. And I'm here with my lovely co-host, the Serengeti specialist. She likes to hang around in the tall weeds, looking to ensnarl any stunks. She's got a chancleta in one hand, another chancleta in the other hand. She's got a chancleta harpoon in the third hand, and with the other hand, she has a fishing hat with a fishing pole and a chancleta on that too. We call her DBL Moms. Hey. Yeah.
How you doing?
All right. Yeah, I'm doing good.
Morning.
Doing good. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning. Hope you guys had a wonderful 3-day weekend.
Yes.
Okay, so let's take a look over here because we got some stonks to call today. We got some stonks. And ladies and gentlemen, be sure to check us out and be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as well as ring that bell icon to stay notified when new videos are uploaded. And remember to share, because sharing is caring. Also, ladies and gentlemen, if you have be sure to check out our 4-day trial for our indelible patrons for $1.99. Be sure to check that out. Link is in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section, so be sure to check that out. We pick a lot of baggers a lot of times. We are just made different. Just made different. The early bird gets the cash, the moolah, the cashola, the big bucks, I tell you. Yeah. We called quite a few baggers today. We did. Hold on one second. We called quite a few baggers today. We called, for example, GCL prior to its 178% run. We called EFOI prior to its 103% run. HCTI prior to its 100% run. And SLDB prior to its 103% run. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, we called that, and we called a couple of little ones too. We called GLYC, which ran up 85%, SRM, which ran up 150%, and IPHA 78%, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, looking pretty good, man. I'm just saying, looking pretty good today. Oh yeah. So let's see, we got ourselves set up here. Let's take a look at a stonk that recently came in. LTBR. LTBR came in. Let's take a look at that stonk. All right. Let's get a nice zoom in the room. All right. Right now, it looks like this stonk is currently on a bit of an uptrend, although the volume looks to be a bit low. It was on the uptrend. Now it looks like it's on a bit of a downtrend over here. Could potentially be forming a descending wedge. So we're gonna have to see about that. It is above the VWAP, but it is a bit overbought, so that's a little bit of an issue. It is up 8%, but it has news that that Lightbridge Corporation, which is LTBR, that is the name of the company, is to hold a business update with the fiscal year of 2024 earnings conference call on Thursday, February 27th at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, which is down the line from today. That's about 9 days from today, so they're going to be doing that. And they also have a pretty high float. They have a pretty high float of 14.16 million, and the volume's pretty low at 84.47 thousand. So it's pretty low. Not looking particularly schmexy. You can see over here with all these candles of indecisiveness, the volume's pretty low for this. It is moving down. It's forming a bottom tail over here. So right now, it's not looking too schmexy. So we're going to move on to something else. Let's check out SLDB. SLDB, that one had some news over there. It had some news. Let's check it out. SLDB earlier ran up 103% when we called it. We called it at around 6:17 a.m. So we called it at 6:17 a.m. at 23%, and it ran and hit a high of 103%. So you know how it is, ladies and gentlemen. We are just made different, baby. All right, let's zoom in the room here. Let's get some zoomage. Let's get some zoomage. Yeah. All right. So SLDB is currently above the VWAP over here. It is not overbought, not oversold. It's looking relatively decent in terms of that. It has some news. It has news that Solid Bio surges after trial data for lead asset in Duchenne. And they also have an announcement of pricing of an underwritten offering. So, don't know what to say about all that. They also reported some positive initial clinical data from next generation Duchenne gene therapy candidates.
Get a lot going on.
So they got quite a bit going on. The float is pretty high though at 18.35 million. The volume is a lot higher though at 30.45 million, which is pretty good. Pretty good news. That's pretty good for them. However, they do have to kind of reflect that volume. I could draw some price action over here. Let's draw some price actions over here. So the first thing that's got to break is all the way up here at $8.11. Another price action at $7.81. Something a little lower at $7.78. And then they have a support line at around $7.13. Another one at around $6.89. Easy. Yeah, easy peasy. Let's zoom out a little bit more. All right. Oh, and they have to break the high at $8.41 over here. So let's zoom back in. They're gonna have to break. They're gonna have to hold these support lines over here. The support line at $7.13 especially, and the first resistance line they're gonna have to break is at around $7.80. So we're hoping that they do that. Right now, it looks like they're forming a bit of a descending wedge. Let me get my graffiti pencil out. Let me get that graffiti pencil out, ladies and gentlemen. We're forming a bit of a descending wedge. There is some consolidation over here. They're going to have to break that. Also, ladies and gentlemen, they are going to... They had a bit of an uptrend going over here. A little bit of consolidation over here. Fighting to break through that $7.80 resistance line. Formed a bit of a downward descending wedge. And now they are a bit consolidated. Now, granted, the volume is 36... Wait. The volume is 30 million. And the float is 18 million. So the volume exceeds that of the float, which is great. That's good. That's good news. It's not overbought, not oversold, above the VWAP. That is pretty good. So, and it does have some solid news. So hopefully it does curl back up. We just have to see. We'll have to see, ladies and gentlemen. We will have to see. Let's take a look at ALUR. ALUR. Let's check it out. Let's check out ALUR, ladies and gentlemen. All right, ALUR. Ooh, okay. This one. Very interesting here. All right. So, it has a bit of a double top forming over here. A bit of a double top. It did hit a high of $6.92. However, it has a bit of a resistance line over there. So, let's get rid of this over here. Let's get rid of that real quick. All right. There we go. All right. So, it hit a high of $6.92. And now it has a bit of a resistance at that same price. So you got a resistance over here. You got another resistance over at $6.39. Another resistance at $6.23. Another resistance at $6.20. $6.16. And then it has a bit of a support line over here at $5.90. And $5.20, as well as another one all the way down here at $5.04. So that's what you got going on so far. Right now it has to hold the support line over here at $5.89 for it to be remotely schmexy as of now. However, it has to break through this $6.40 mark. It has smaller resistance points all the way over here at $6.23 and $6.22. However, $6.40 is the real one that we're looking at over here. It is a bit below the VWAP as of now. It's a bit consolidated. We're going to have to see what goes on with it. It did form a double top over here, so we'll have to again see what goes on at $6.92. But it hit that high. It looked pretty good. It's just got to break through that right now. It is forming a bit of a descending wedge. Let's actually mark that up with the graffiti pencil. Let's check that out, ladies and gentlemen. Boom, boom, and boom. It's a bit more of a pennant, actually, when I look at it. A bit more of a pennant / descending wedge. But I go for more of a descending wedge. So let's see what goes on here. It could potentially curl. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. Let's check out the float. The float for this is 2.10 million. The volume is 427,000. So the volume is a bit low. The float is pretty good. The float is a pretty good float, but the volume is pretty low. And they do have news. They have news that they plan to combine GLP-1 therapy with the Allurion balloon to treat obesity. So that's pretty good news. They are looking for a way to treat obesity and help people out, which is awesome. That's great. And the volume is pretty low. That's the only issue it has. It's not overbought, not oversold. It is a bit below VWAP. So we're going to have to check it out, see what happens there. Let's check out TOPP. TOPP, ladies and gentlemen.
Just came on.
Yeah, TOPP. PP. Yeah. Anyways. TOPP does not look to have much volume. Yeah, TOPP does not look to have much volume. It has news. It does have news, but the volume just does not look to be there. It was a bit overbought on the RSI over here. It was, multiple times it showed signs of being overbought, and then it kind of went downwards into not being overbought. So we'll see what happens there. It is above the VWAP, ladies and gentlemen. It formed a bit of a top tail all the way up here. And we don't like top tails, ladies and gentlemen. We like the bottom tails, don't we, DBL moms? Yeah, we like the bottom tails, DBL moms. It hit a high of $2.87. So let's check out some price actions here. So let's get some resistance lines up here at $2.87. Another one at $2.76. Another one all the way down to $2.75. Another one at $2.66. Another one at $2.60. And another one all the way down here at $2.50, ladies and gentlemen. And also another one at $2.69 nice cents. So that's what we got going on right now. It has to hold that $2.69 support line in order for it to be remotely schmexy. It has to curl. However, TOPP does have low volume. It was a bit overbought earlier, so it could be curling down a little bit. Let's check it out over here. Let's see what news they got going on. Right now it says Top Point Holdings expands into the new multi-billion-dollar vertical through strategic collaboration with leading refrigerated logistics provider, which is pretty good news. They're expanding their company. That's good news. That's very good news. A little bit of a resistance line over here too at 272. So let's see what goes on over there. The float for this stock, however, is pretty high. It's at 17.5 million. Volume is at 39.68 thousand. So the volume is going to have to go up. It's very low on volume. Very, very low on volume. It's above the RSI. It's not overbought or oversold, but it is leaning towards being overbought. So we'll see what happens there. Not Pracha asks, how is EFOI today? Let's take a look at EFOI, see how that's doing. Let's take a look and see how EFOI is doing. All right. Let's see. All right, right now EFOI is a bit below the VWAP. It is below the VWAP right now and a bit consolidated. However, it has some support and resistance lines. Let's check out the support and resistance lines, ladies and gentlemen. Let's check those out. So we got support. We got resistance lines over at $2.18. Another one at $2.16. Another one all the way down at $2.15. Another one down here at $2.13. And then more consolidation around $2.11. And just below that, you got a support line at $2.09. It's looking a little consolidated. It just has to stick, has to stick above that $2.09 mark for it to be more schmexy. It looks like it's starting to curl up a little bit. If you take a look over here, right on here, it has a bit of indecisiveness, but it looks like it's trying to curl up a little bit. Let's take a look at the float for EFOI. The float for EFOI is 3.64 million. The volume is 17.95 million. So the volume is excellent for this. The float is pretty good. It just needs a catalyst. That's all it really needs to potentially curl back up. Right now, it's a bit consolidated. It needs a catalyst. There's no news for it. However, it could potentially curl. In my opinion. It is 63% up right now. It's looking pretty good. Pretty good. It hit a high of 103%. We called it earlier. So we'll see what happens with it. Right now it's a little consolidated, but could potentially curl, ladies and gentlemen. Could potentially curl.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So let's see what else we got going on. What else we got going on here? because we got EFOI. Let's check out GCL, because GCL ran up a nice 178% earlier after we called it. Let's check it out. GCL, boom, there we are. All right, GCL had a nice high over here at $9.07, ladies and gentlemen. Had a nice high at $9.07. Boom, right over here. Let's go over here down to where it's currently at. Right now, it is below the VWAP, a little bit below VWAP. Let's get the graffiti pencil activated over here. Looks like it's a bit of a descending wedge. A little bit of a descending wedge going on over here. Boom. And boom. It has to break a couple of price resistance points, especially at this area over here. So what it's going to have to do is break through the resistance at $4.71, another one at $4.73, another one at $4.65, $4.56, $4.46, $4.40, and another at $4.33, and it's got a bit of a support line at $4.29. So we'll see how that goes. We'll check it out. We'll check it out a little later. Let's see what else we got going on here. Let's see what else we got going on. What else we got? What else we got? CGBS. Let's check out CGBS. CGBS, ladies and gentlemen. CGBS. Let's check this out. Let's check this baby out. Yeah, baby. Yeah, all right. All right, CGBS, ladies and gents. Let's check this out. Let's check this out, ladies and gents. Let's move in. Boom, boom, boom. Let's check out. Let's check it out. Let's check it out. We'll zoom out actually a little bit. There we go. Boom. All right. So what we got going on here is CGBS. CGBS hit a high of 55 cents. Pretty nice high for this. It is up 76%. Came out with some news that they signed gas sales MOU with India Gas Exchange. This is Crown LNG Holdings Limited. These guys signed an MOU with India Gas Exchange. The float for this stock is pretty heavy, though. It is pretty heavy at 53 million. The volume is 7 million. It's a pretty heavy stock, and it is also overbought, but it is above the VWAP, so we'll see what happens with it. Me personally, I'm not a big fan of heavy stocks, but this stock is pretty interesting in the sense that it is having some pretty good movement for a stock that is with a heavy float. However, it has a very low volume. It is above the VWAP, which is good. It is above the VWAP, but again, and it has some pretty good news, so let's see what happens with it. It is a bit overbought as well. That is another issue that I have with the stock. Me personally, ladies and gentlemen, by the way, this is not stock or financial advice. This is not anything like that. Do your own due diligence before purchasing any stock at all whatsoever. We are not financial or stock advisors. So let's check this out over here. So right now you actually had a bit of an uptrend here earlier. Now it's a bit of a consolidation. There's a bit of a consolidation going on over here. So you got a little bit of consolidation. It's a bit of a pennant. Looks like it's trying to break upward. It is trying to break upward here. Let's see. Let's see. Let's get some resistance points out here. Let's get some resistance lines. So you got a resistance here at 55 cents. Another one at around 54. Another one all the way down here at 52. That looks like it's trying to break the 52-cent resistance line. There is a support line here at 44. Another support line here at 37, and another support line here at 33, as well as another support line all the way down here at 31, ladies and gentlemen. So that's what we got going on here. It's forming a bit of a pennant. It's breaking down a little bit. It's trying to get out of that overbought range. That's the only deal with this one right now. It is trying to get out of that overbought range, ladies and gentlemen. It's a bit choppy. The volume did go up a little bit. It's now 9.01 million, but the float is still pretty heavy at 53 million, so we'll have to see what it does. It's got a ways away to go. We'll see what goes on with it. It has to hold the support at around 44 cents over here for it to remain viable, but it has to break through 52 cents. It does have to break through 52 cents. Let's check out PRFX. PRFX, let's check this baby out. All right, let's see what we got going on here. Let's check this out, baby. Let's check this out. All right, let's zoom in the room. Let's zoom in the room over here. All right, so PRFX looks to be having a very, very nice day. It is a bit overbought, though, but it is above VWAP. That is always good. The float for this is 302.8 thousand. The volume is 4 million. The float is a little low. little low, but the volume is 4.53 million, so the volume is exceeding the float, which is excellent. That's excellent news. That's excellent. They also came out with some news that they executed some definitive agreements to acquire Deep Solar, marking a unique expansion opportunity. So PRFX has an acquisition going on. That is what is making it move right now. It's got some pretty good news. It's above the VWAP. It is a bit overbought, though. That's the only issue that I really have with it. But the volume is there. The float is pretty low. So let's check this out over here. Let's get the graffiti pencil out. It had a bit earlier. It had a bit of a pennant over here. A bit earlier, it looks like. Let's see over here. Boom. All right. And then it curled up off that pennant and hit this high of $4.88. It looks like it's trying to fight to get back up to that $4.88 mark. So we'll see what happens over here. Let's check this out. It is currently still overbought, so that's what's kind of messing with it right now. Let's check out some price action levels over here. We got $4.88. That's a resistance point. Another one at $4.60. We got a support line all the way down here at $4.02. Another one at $3.65. Another one all the way down here at $3.46. Another one down here at $3.18. Another one at $3.23. Another one down here at $3. And another one all the way down here at $2.72. So it's got quite a few support lines. It is trying to break through currently the $4.60 line, and it breaks through it. It's breaking through it. All it's got to really do now is break through another resistance point. I'm going to put over here at $4.77. We will see what happens there, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, it's trying to stay above the support line at $4.60. It fell a bit below it. We'll see what happens there. But the volume is still there. The volume is still there. It still has 5.5 million volume. The float is 302,000, so that's pretty good. It's still pretty good there. So it could potentially go up, and it goes up, it goes up, it hits a new high. Oh, it breaks through the $4.88 resistance line. So now it forms another resistance line all the way at $4.95. Let's see what happens over here, baby. Let's see what goes on. Let's see what goes on, man. Let's go. Can we get some likes and some comments and some shares in the stream, baby? Let's get some shares. It's moving. All right. It's still trying to stay. There. It has to break through the $4.77 resistance again. It has to stay above this $4.60. That's what it's got to do. It is still a bit overbought. So it could be moving down. It could be moving down a little bit, potentially, maybe, because of the fact that it's overbought. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens here. But right now, it's got to stay above that $4.60 support line. It has to stay above that to remain somewhat viable, ladies and gentlemen. But let's check this out over here. Again, ladies and gentlemen, this is not stock or financial advice. This is just my opinion. Do your own due diligence. But yeah, this looks like it has to stick above the $4.60 support line, and it is breaking down a bit. It's a little bit of consolidation. Let's check that volume. The volume is actually going up for it at 6.4 million. The float is 302,000. So let's see what happens here. Again, these guys have actual acquisition news. It's forming a bit of a top tail. We don't like the top tails. We like the bottom tails, ladies and gentlemen. We like the bottom tails, because the bottom tails, that's where the magic happens with the bottom tails. Right now, it's forming a bit of a top tail, so we're gonna have to see what happens over here. Let's see. All right, let's go and check out. It's 63% right now. Still a bit overbought. However, it is above the VWAP still. It is still above the VWAP over here. Let's take a look at this over here. Let's get the graffiti pencil activated. It looks like it's forming a bit of a descending wedge down here. It has to just curl. It's curling. It looks like it's curling up a little bit. Looks like it's curling up a little bit of curlage. Still has that top tail though, so we're gonna have to see what happens over on It's got to break through that $4.80 resistance line. It does have to break through that. Come on, baby, let's go. There we go. It breaks through that $4.80 line. Now it has to break 488. Has to break that 488. Come on, baby. There we go. That's what it's got to do. It's still fighting to stay above it. It's It's still trying. It's still trying. It's trying over here. It's trying. Again, they have news to acquire Deep Solar, marking a unique expansion opportunity for them. So that's some pretty good news. They have unique expansion news and they have unique acquisition news. So that's pretty good. It's pretty good. The float is pretty low, so it's going to be a little volatile because it's low float, but the volume is now 7.13 million and it's moving up. It's moving up. It's breaking through. Up, new high, new high, new high at $5.02. It's got a new high, $5.21. Let's go. Yep, 527. 527. Yeah, baby. Yeah. Yeah. That's what we got going on. That's what we got going on. That's what we got going on, ladies and gentlemen. It is now 84% up. 84% up. 90%. 91%. Let's go. Let's go. Can we see 100? Can we see 100? Let's see. All right. It's got a new resistance point. It's got a new resistance point around here. It's got a new resistance point at $5.47. It does have a new resistance point over here at $5.47. Let's take a look over here. Let's take a look. Boom. All right. And it has a new support line at $5.06. So it's going to have to hold that $5.06 support line, baby, in order for it to stay. It's got to stay there. You got to keep it separated. Yeah. All right. But it has to break through this little resistance point over here for it to be remotely schmexy to me. That's at least the way I see it. Again, the volume for this is now 8.37 million. The float is still pretty low at 302,000, but the volume is pretty high, so that's pretty good for me. That's pretty good for me. It is still a bit overbought, though. Still a bit overbought. That's my only concern with the stunk. A little bit overbought. Other than that, looking pretty schmexy. It did have a nice move all the way upward. Let's check this out over here. Actually, let me write this down for myself. PRFX had that high of 93%. All right. It looked pretty good, ladies and gentlemen. It looked pretty good. Again, these guys have news that they're acquiring Deep Solar, marking a unique expansion opportunity. So that's what they got going on. The volume for this is 8.63 million. Float is 302,000. Again, had some very nice movement. They moved up over here all the way to a new high of $5.47. Let's take a look over here. It looks like it could potentially be forming a descending wedge over here, potentially. All right, boom. All right. Actually, a bit of a pennant, a little bit of a bull pennant. We'll see what happens. All right, right now they are up 75%. They hit that high of 93%. So let's see what goes on with it. Right now, the volume is still continuing to move up at 8.81 million, 8.96 million. So now the float is still pretty low. It's just got to break through this pennant. It has to break through the... Yeah, it broke through the resistance point at $5.05. It looks like it's trying to curl. A little bit. All right. Let's see what goes on. All right. It's got that next resistance point at $5.47. $5.47. That is the new resistance line. That is the new resistance that it's got to break. It's got to break that in order for it to be schmexy. It has to break that, ladies and gentlemen. So it's trying. Looks like it's trying to curl. However, it is forming a bit of a top tail. So I'm keeping an eye on it. Up. It looks like it's falling down. All right. Let's see what goes on. Let's check out another stunk while we wait for them. I know as soon as I turn my head, by the way, this stunk is probably just going to curl. Because that's always what happens, ladies and gentlemen. It always happens that way. I turn my head, and then the stunk decides to curl. All right? So let's see what happens. We'll see what goes down. All right, let's check out... Let's see. What do you think, Serengeti Specialist? What should we check out? EFOI? Let's take a look at EFOI, because we had somebody ask about EFOI earlier, so we'll see what the current status of it is. Let's see. Again, did not have much volume. Looks like it went down a little bit. It looks like it's trying to curl up. It has to break through the resistance line over here at around $2.13. It looks like because there's a bit of resistance line going on over there, so we'll see what happens with it. It looks like it's trying to curl. potentially. And you know, breaking that $2.13 mark, it look, you know, to make it look a bit schmexy. Yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with it. This stock has no news, but the float for this stock is 3.64 million. Volume is 18.27 million. So right now, oh, looks like it broke through it. Looks like it broke through it. There's a bit of a top tail, though. There is a bit of a top tail. We don't like the top tails, DBL moms. We like the bottom tails. Yes, we do. We like the bottom tails, ladies and gentlemen. We like the bottom tails. So right now, it's flirting with that resistance. It's smacking that bottom at $2.15. Pause on that whole statement. But it looks like it is hitting that volume, that descending wedge there. That descending, not descending wedge. It's hitting the resistance over here. It's hitting the resistance at $2.15. It's trying to curl. It's trying to curl. Let's check out something else while we wait, because it's a bit consolidated. It's a little bit consolidated. Not overbought, not oversold. It is below the VWAP, however, so we got to be very, very cautious of that one. All right, let's check out HCTI. HCTI, let's see what they're doing over here. Bing, bang, boom. Zoom, zoom in the room. All right, these guys look like they had a nice curl. Nice curl. Oh, boy. All right. Looks like there's a bit of a double bottom over here, actually. A little bit of a double bottom. Boom and boom. All the way over here. Looks like they're having a nice bit of curlage. They are having a nice bit of curlage. However, ladies and gentlemen, they are below VWAP. They are below VWAP. It's not overbought, not oversold, but it is below VWAP. So, let's take a look over here. Looks like what they had going on was they had a bit of a descending wedge. Boom, over here. Another one all the way over here. Curled up off that descending wedge as soon as they hit a little resistance point, which I'll point out a little later. Give me just a second. All right, they're curling up right now. It looks like they have a line of resistance, a little resistance point right over here at around 73 cents. All right, but they have a support line there, and then they have a resistance point at 82 cents. Another one looks like it's at 81 cents. Another one all the way down here at 80, and then another one, another support line. As of now, it's a support line at 79 cents. Another one all the way down here at 76. Another one at 74. And another one at 75 over here. So that's what they got going on. They got another one at 77. So they got all these support lines over. So we'll see what happens. And then this one has an immediate support line of 78 cents. So it looks like it's curling. It looks like it's trying to break through that resistance point at around 80 cents right now. Looks like it's trying to break through. We'll see what happens here. We'll see what happens over here. All right, let's see what goes on, because it did have a nice curl off of a descending wedge over here. It did have a nice curl, so we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with this one. It does have to break through the 80-cent mark, and then the 82-cent mark, and then all the way up here at the 83-cent mark, or So it has to break through those for it to be remotely schmexy to me. All right, but right now, what have you done for me lately, HCTI? What have you done for me lately? It's forming a bit of a a top tail, or no, not top tail. It's forming a bit of a bottom tail. It was forming a top tail earlier, that's why. But it was forming a bit of a bottom tail over here. It needs to curl, though. That's a red bottom tail. We don't like the red ones. We like the green ones. We like the green ones, ladies and gentlemen. We like the green ones. Formed a bit of a doji candle, so we'll have to see what goes on over here. But let's check out PRFX, see what goes on with PRFX. What's going on with PRFX? What's going on? Tell me what's going on. I'll tell you what's going on. I love that song, man. All right. So PRFX right now is still trying to stay above the resistance line over here at $4.77. Right now, it has to break through that $4.88 resistance line. There's a support line over here at $4.77. So it's just got to break through there. It's got to break through there, ladies and gentlemen. It's got to break through there. It's no longer overbought, which is good news. No longer overbought. And ladies and gentlemen, it does still have that news that they are to acquire an AI-driven solar analytics platform, Deep Solar. So that is news that they got going on. The float is still 302.8 thousand. Volume has increased at 10.73 million, ladies and gentlemen. So it's looking pretty good, looking pretty nice. I like what I'm seeing, ladies and gents. I am liking what I'm seeing. It's looking pretty schmexy. So we'll see what happens. It's got some consolidation, though. That is the only issue with this. It has some consolidation, but it's no longer overbought, which is excellent. It's not overbought anymore. I like that. I like what I'm seeing there. It is still above the VWAP, ladies and gentlemen. It's still above the VWAP, and it looks like it's trying to curl again. It looks like it's trying to curl. It's got to break through this $5.06 resistance line over here. It broke through the $4.95 and the $4.88 resistance lines over here. So now it looks like it's using those as support right now as it tries to break through this $5.05 line. So we'll see what goes on over there. We'll see what goes on over there. But yeah, looking pretty schmexy so far, ladies and gentlemen. It's looking pretty schmexy. So we'll see what goes on with it. It's got to make a nice little curly Q. It's got to make a nice little curl. Nice little curl over there. So let's see. And ladies and gentlemen, by the way, do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe, as well as share, ladies and gentlemen. Share, because sharing is caring.
That's right.
Yeah, sharing is caring, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. So be sure to do that, ladies and gentlemen. Share it with your mom, share it with your dad, share it with your brothers, your sisters.
Share it with your goldfish, share it with your turtle, share it with your dog, share it with everybody.
Yeah, share it with your goldfish. Put the phone in front of the goldfish, have him watch, man. He'll learn some stocks. Actually a video about that. Some guy actually uses goldfish to trade stocks, which was kind of crazy, but at the same time, you know.
I heard that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, yeah. No, it was a little wild. So we actually got some news. We got some news that just came in on another stonk. Let's check this one out. SYRA. SYRA came with some news. A little bit of news. It looks very volatile, though. It is overbought over here. Hold on. Let's zoom in the room. This stock actually just got some news, SYRA, that Sierra Health announced a preliminary result from Serenity study led by Indiana University. So we'll see what goes on over here. Okay, see what goes on over here. Right now, it looks like it hit a high of 58 cents. So we're going to have a bit of a resistance over there. Right there. Boom. All right, let's get rid of this one over here. Let's get rid of this one. Boom. There we go. All right. Right now, looks like it fell below the VWAP. It just fell below the VWAP just now, just a little bit. And it was overbought earlier. It looks like it fell down to an area where it's not too overbought and not too oversold. So we'll see what goes on with it. Right now, it is up 16%. Float is 7.31 million. Volume is 2.76 million. So the volume is a little low. The volume's a little low for this one, in my opinion. But the float is pretty good. The float is pretty good at 7.31 million. So it's just got to break that with the volume. And it's got to hop above the VWAP. So we'll see what goes on with this. We'll see what goes on with it. Looks like it could potentially be forming a potential descending wedge. We'll see what happens over here. Go boom. All right. There we go. Boom. We'll have to see what goes on with this. It's got to break the descending wedge. It's still moving downward as of now. I think it's still trying to stay in between being overbought and oversold, because it was overbought earlier. So now it's kind of just paying that back in, you know, that respect. So let's see what goes on. Let's see what goes on with that. PRFX. Let's continue with PRFX. See what goes down with that one. Let's see what it's doing right now. Let's zoom in the room over here. Let's see what we got going on. All right. So right now, PRFX is still a bit consolidated. It is trying to once again break that $4.88 resistance line, the $4.95, and it's got to break that $5.06. It hit a nice high over here at 93%. At $5.47 over here. So we'll see what goes on with this baby. We'll see what goes on with this one. It is still above the VWAP. They still have the news of the acquisition. They still have that going on. The volume is increasing at 11.35 million, but the float is still 3.02 thousand. So we'll have to see what goes on. We'll see what goes on with this one right now. We'll see what goes on with it. Let's check out. Let's see, HCTI. Let's try that one. Let's check that one out. See what's going on there. HCTI was moving. It hit a nice high of 100%. HCTI. Let's zoom in the room over here. And let's actually form that little resistance all the way over here, because it has a resistance line all the way up there. Let's zoom in though. Boom. All right. So what we got going on over here, let's see. HCTI, Healthcare Triangle Inc., ladies and gentlemen, does not have any recent news. The float for this stock, however, is 2.89 million. The volume is pretty high, though, at 35.77 million. That is good volume. The float is pretty good. It's not too high, not too low. pretty good in my opinion. But it is below VWAP. It is below the VWAP right now. So we'll see what goes on with this. It's got a little bit of consolidation going on. A little bit of consolidation. It was headed up. It was moving on up off of the descending wedge over right over here that we drew. And it had a bit of a double bottom over here. So let me actually get rid of this little line over here. Let's refresh this line. Boom. All right. Now what we got going on over here looks to be a potential descending wedge going on over here. So it's just got to curl above that for it to be remotely schmexy. Let's check out GNLN, see what that's doing in the meantime. GNLN. Let's see what we got going on. All right, GNLN does not have much in terms of float. Bless you, DBL moms. The volume is 301,000. Float is 556,000. So the volume is pretty low. It's also overbought. It is above the VWAP. Pretty good. I like that. I like that it's above the VWAP. It hit a high of $1.73, but right now it looks pretty choppy in my opinion. So I'm gonna move on from this one. I'm gonna move on from it. It is up 41%, but it is very sporadic, very choppy. I'll put some. You know what? I'll put some resistance lines here. I'll put some resistance lines. Give it some resistance lines. It's got a resistance here at $1.73. Another one at 172.
PRFX testing high.
Ooh, PRFX is testing the high.
Testing the high.
All right. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, I turned my head for 5 seconds. PRFX wants to test the high. Look at you. Look at you. Oh, look at you. Oh, what is this? What is this, PRFX? It's poking its head like a title.
There we go.
Titles.
Yes.
Yeah, baby. Titles. Oh, yeah. It's got a little bit of a title going on. A little bit of a turtleneck. Hey, it's moving up. It's moving up.
Vitamin D.
A little bit of vitamin D. And a little bit of vitamin V for volume. Little demand. Little demand. A little bit of demand. Right now, the volume for this is 12.57 million. The float is still 302.8 thousand. So we'll see what goes on there. Again, these guys have acquisition news. Acquisition news of an AI solar analytics platform, Deep Solar. It's pushing. Oh, yeah. It's pushing up. It's pushing up. It's still
pushing and pushing.
All right. It's pushing up. It's still pushing. It's got a bit of a top tilt here. Come on, baby. Come on. Come on. Let's see what goes on over here. Let's see what goes on, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what goes on. Right now, it looks like it's still trying to break that $5.47 resistance. Come on, baby. Come on. Come on. But it is curling a bit. It is curling a bit. Let's get the graffiti pencil out here. Let's see what's going on. Boom. Boom. All right. So right now, it looks like it's still on a bit of an uptrend. It's still on that uptrend here. Come on, baby. Come on. Come on. We all want to see it. We want to see it. Show me the goods. Show me the goods. Show me the goods. Pause on this whole statement. But show me the goods. All right. Yeah. All right. It's still moving. It's still moving. Still moving. Just has to break that $5.47 resistance line over there. It has broken all the other ones so far. It's looking pretty schmexy. Come on, baby. Come on. Come on. It's got that volume. The volume is still pretty high at 13.23 million. The volume has been increasing steadily. Has a nice volume. The float is still 302.8 thousand. So we'll see what goes on there. The float is pretty low, but the volume is 13.23 million. So that is good. That is very good, very good, very good. All right, we'll see what goes on there. Right now, it is acquiring the AI-driven solar analytics platform, Deep Solar. We got to remember. So that's what we got for news, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we got going on over here. That's what we got. So we'll see what goes on. Let's see what goes on. Let's see what goes on. Right now, it is at 84%. 84%. It hit a nice high of 93. Hit a nice high of 93. It's got to stay above that support line, though. Has to stay above that support line at $5.06 over here. $5.06 over here. So we got to see what goes on there. It looks like it is still trying to curl. It is still trying to curl and stay above that. It was trying to smack that bottom at $5.47. But yes, it needs volume. It needs some volume too.
Come on now.
Hey, come on.
Smack that.
Smack that.
Flow.
Yes, smack that. Smack that like Akon. Smack that like Akon. Yes.
Nine.
Yes, smack that like Akon all on the floor. All right. Yeah, you gotta keep me entranced. PRFX, you gotta keep me entranced here. You gotta keep me entranced. All right. Oh.
Really?
What you think this is?
Wow.
You gotta keep me. You gotta keep me interested. You gotta keep me interested over here. You gotta. I got the ADHD, ladies and gentlemen. I gotta be able to, you know, check it out there. You got a rhythm with the tism, man. Come on. All right, let's see what goes on over here. Let's see. Right now, PRFX looking pretty schmexy. It is still above there. Yeah, it's getting boring, man. It is getting boring. Let's see what else. Is there anything else we got? Let's see what else we got over here. Let's see.
You see, we're turning away.
Up.
see that?
Oh, now it wants to do it again. See, look at this. I took one small look to the right. I took one small look to the right. I look at one other monitor. All of a sudden, woo! Look at you. Look at you. Looky. Mm-hmm. Yeah, how about this? I'm going to turn around. Slowly I turn.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
Inch by inch. Step by step.
Don't pay attention to it. Don't pay attention.
No, you know what? I'm gonna just.
I'm ignoring you.
Oh,
PRFX.
I'm ignoring you, PRFX. I'm ignoring you. Come on. Show me something interesting. You had my attention earlier. Now you don't want my attention. Oh.
If it doesn't break soon, it could flush.
Yeah, it could potentially flush. It needs to break that.
We don't want to flush a room.
We don't want to flush a roux. I mean, the volume's going up still. It's now 14.12 million. The float is still 302,000. The volume is pretty good. It's pretty good. But it needs to curl for it to be remotely schmexy. It was curling a bit earlier. It broke through the resistance points. It broke through the $5.88 resistance, which is now a support line. Another one at $5.06. It's still got to hold that support line, and it's got to break through $5.47 to be even schmexier than before. It hit a nice high at 93%. 93% over here. So we got to see what goes on with it. We got to see what goes on over here. Ooh, I'm about to make a name for myself. If you know where that's from, you know where that's from, ladies and gentlemen. But right now, it is currently 14.26 million in volume. It's doing a channel. It's doing a bit of a channel. It's got a bit of channel time. Yeah, it's got a bit of channel time going on. Hold on, let me see. Let me make it sure. Test it now. Test it now. You make test now. All right. Oh, let's also make a channel time over here. Channel time. It's channel time. Yeah, bit of a channel over here. Bit of a channel. We'll see what goes on. Over here. But it's got to break this channel. Come on. It's got to hold that $5.06 support line. And it's got to break through that $5.47 line. Resistance line. Right. It looks kind of weak right now. Looking a bit weak right now. We'll see what happens with it. Let's see something else while we wait for it. I know as soon as I turn my back, it's going to try to curl up anyway.
Yeah.
So, but right now, it's no longer overbought. No longer oversold. So we'll see what goes on with it. All right, let's check out KWE. Let's check that one out. Let's check out KWE, see what goes on with KWE while I turn my head away from PRFX. And knowing PRFX is probably going to try to curl up while I'm not looking. So, let's see what goes on. Let's zoom in the room over here. All right. So KWE, ooh, a little bit of consolidation. Little bit. A lot of top tails though. So let's check this out over here. KWE is also known as KWESST Microsystems Inc. This one has Q1 financial results for news, and then the float for this one is 7.7 million. Volume is 49.26 million. So the volume is pretty good. It is 7.7 million for the float. So the float is pretty good for this one. The volume is 49.26 million. So that's what we got going on, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see what happens over here. We'll see what happens over here. We'll see. We'll see. Right now with this one, it is up 57 cents. 57 cents. Let's draw some resistance lines over here. So let's get the graffiti pencil activated. We got a resistance line all the way here at 74 cents. Another one at 73. And the support line all the way down here at 69. Nice cents. And then another one all the way down here at 66 cents. Another one at 67. Another one all the way down here at 68. Another one down here at 65. And that's what we got going on so far, ladies and gentlemen. So right now, it's got to curl. It's got to curl and break through that 73-cent line and the 74-cent line here as well. So let's see over here. It's forming a bit of a double top, though. That's the only issue I have. I'm a little worried about that. This could be a potential double top over here. So we'll see what goes on. We'll see what goes on with this one. It could, but it is above VWAP. It is above VWAP. Looks like it's forming a bit of a pennant. It looks like it's forming a bit of a pennant over here. Let's see. Boom. Over here. Another one over here. Boom. Boom. All right. So we got a pennant being formed over here by KWE. It's got to curl through the pennant. It's got to break through that pennant. It's got to break upward past the pennant. Curl up. We got to see what goes on with it, baby. We got to see what goes on with it. Let's see what goes on. Let's see. All right. Sorry about that. Had the hiccups, ladies and gentlemen. Oop, there we go. And it is above the VWAP right now. It has to, it's not overbought, not oversold, which is good news, very good news, but it has to break through that 74-cent mark. And then the next part it has to break through would be 75 cents. So we'll have to see what happens. We shall see. We shall see. It looks like it's trying to curl. It looks like it's trying to curl up a little bit. It looks like it's trying to curl, KWE. KWE, come on, baby. Curl, baby, curl. Curl, baby, curl. Let's go. Let's go. Let's see what it do. Let's see what it do, baby boo. Yeah. All right. Let's see. And ladies and gentlemen, be sure to share. Ladies and gentlemen, be sure to share.
Oh, you like what you're looking at? Share, please.
Yeah, need some sharage. Need some
Share.
sharage. Be sure to share it with your hamster, man. Share it with your dog. Share it with your cat. You know how it works, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Yeah, baby. Yeah,
Share,
baby.
share, share.
Curl it up.
Spread
Curl
it
it
around,
up.
spread
Let's
the
see
love.
what goes on. Curl it up. I like that. I like that, by the way. Curl it up. Curl it up. Curl it up. I like that. All right. Let's see what goes on with this run right now. 74 cents. 74 cents. It's trying to flirt with it. It's flirting with it. It's smacking that bottom. But, oh, be careful. It's got to be careful. It's got to be careful because it's forming a bit of a double top over here. It's forming another double top over here. Oh, okie dokie. Let's be careful with this one. You got to be careful. It's got to be careful. Whoo, you got to be careful with this one. Whoo, yeah. All right. Let's check out PRFX while we wait. Let's check out PRFX because this one looks to it has a bottom tail, but it's red. So, bottom tail red. All right, let's see what we got going on over now. Let's see what we got with PRFX. Let's see what they're doing. Let's see what they're doing. Hey, PRFX, what you doing? What you doing? Up? Nah. PRFX is being man. All right, let's see. Let's go to, let's check out SLDB. Let's check out SLDB. SLDB had a nice run at 103%. It did have a nice run, but it has been moving a bit downward, a little bit downward. A lot of consolidation. All right, let's see what else we got. Oh, PRFX is moving again. Let's see what they're doing.
Let's see.
Hey, PRFX, what you doing?
Hey.
What you doing? All right. It was moving up a little bit, and then it decided, you know what? Decided to try and get my attention. It's messing with me.
Yep.
It's starting to fight with me. Hey, I'm getting upset. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not getting upset. But ladies and gentlemen, that's all the time we got for now. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as well as ring that bell icon to stay notified when new videos are uploaded. And remember to share.
Share,
Because
everybody,
sharing
please share. We
is
appreciate
caring,
you.
ladies and gentlemen.
Share.
Also, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to check out our 4-day trial for our indelible patrons for $1.99. Link is in the description down below as well as the pinned comment section. Be sure to check that out. We pick a lot of baggers a lot of times, and the early bird gets the cash. Who needs a worm when you got cash? The moolah, the loot, the cashola, the big bucks, I tell you. Yeah. Get that filet mignon money. Yeah, get that hoping PRFX breaks money. Yeah. Get that fried chicken money. The good stuff over there. Especially that Nashville, Tennessee spice fried chicken money. That's that good stuff. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Get that shrimp cocktail money.
Yeah, that's good. Shrimp cocktail money's always
Nashville fried chicken and shrimp
good.
cocktail
The ones
money.
that are big as your fists, the big old shrimps. Those
The
big
shrimps as
colossals.
big as your head.
There's a size
money.
called colossal shrimps.
Yeah.
Big.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to get all that. We love you guys. We hope all your dreams and aspirations come true. Hope you guys have a wonderful Tuesday. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week. We love you guys. We will see you tomorrow. It's not Coach. It's Double Nicks. I love you guys, and I'm out of here with my lovely co-host DB on my